Hey guys, Deb the Awesome here to give you yet another team race event informational video and slash how to do them. That won't be the full title of it, but it's just gonna be Celtic, team race guide, Celtic race, all that jazz. So today we're gonna talk about the Celtic race. Uh, so we're back at it. This is the team race. This is the race. This is the normal thing. We're back to norms. It's no longer the Titan fight. This is the next race event, and it's back to being the normal one, which means it is boring, frustrating, and gem spendy. Pretty much. But people seem to prefer this over the Titan fights. I don't know why. In my personal opinion, I think the Titan fights are better, but it's just this guy's opinion. They basically gave the same reward, and it's a lot more fun with teammates, and you don't have to spend any gems. The only thing is just like if you wanted to speed up your recovery times on your good monsters, what have you. But that's a choice thing. You don't necessarily have to do that. But again, I just prefer these. I prefer the Titan races over this, but we're back at normal stuff. But today we're going to teach you how to do these things. Now, this is basically a giant progressive island for everybody. Every single team is paired up with, I do believe, 20 teams. Yeah, 20 other teams. Or so basically 19 other teams because there's 20 in total. But you get my point. It's groups in 20s of teams. Groups of 20. There's 20 members, 20 team races. And they all compete to get the first prize, which is a Balor that can get up to rank 3. They did indeed. It's not a ranked 5. I do believe that was a special occasion. The last the last normal one, you could have gotten a ranked 5 Agursis. Now we're back at rank 3 with a Fighter as the sub prize. So basically, you always get the second prize, and for the second prize, you get a rank 1 in Fighter. So if you get first, you also get that, along with a Balor between rank 1 to 3. 3 being its max that you could possibly get. It doesn't get any higher than that. You just get it at 3 if you get first. And you've completed the 14 laps required. In order to be eligible for a reward, you do need to complete 4 laps. So if you do not complete 4 laps at the end of the event, you get nothing. And comparing really all these rewards here, you won't get anything unless you get second or third, realistically speaking. Or I guess 11 through 15 is alright. But for the most part, you're not getting anything good, because for the most part the rewards are kind of terrible in this event. Compared to the Titan race, let's say I don't even like calling the Titan races, but comparing that to the Titan race, the rewards were greatly better, like greatly, immensely better. A rank 2 Cryotan's way better than a rank 1 Fighter. That is opinions. There was Krugbo, there was, oh, what else was there? It was another Titan monster. It was Krugbo, Cryotan, and I can't remember the other reward. Oxtex. Yeah, there was Oxtex too. So just a bunch of really decent competitive monsters. And here there's like, well, not counting the team race monster. The team race monster is always competitively viable because, again, you can get it at rank 3. There's 2. Well, actually, all right, 3. We're going to count the Epic 2 in this. So there's 2 useful legendaries, again, besides the team race monster and the Epic. That's it. So we're going to go over how you do this. Then we're going to talk about each and every monster. All right, so for missions, I do believe there are 5 nodes. And every 5 nodes you complete is a complete lap. So you start here, you start on the red one, you go all the way down. So you have to complete the 4 blue ones before you, and basically that's the fifth thing. Like when you're on your way to the red one, that's complete. Once you hit home again, that's a complete lap, and that's racing. You start and you end there, and that's a complete lap. There we go, bam. Racing logic. But for each and every traveling of each node, you got to do missions. There's 3 missions, and you do them faster when your team is online. Like at least 15 members at the very most are online at once, and they do a variety of tasks such as collect gold, collect food. I think the food is more brutal in this one because I've been seeing like 40Ks just straight up the bat. So rainbow peas, you might have to plant a whatchamacallit or two, an angel, winged angel beans. That's what I've been doing. You might have to plant 2 of those, just to keep track of that. But yeah, it's just that. uh, those are the really easy ones. The thing that bothers people the most are the breeding quests. I do believe it's the breeding quest and the PvPs, and most part for the very specific ones where it's the first member or contribute on an epic situation. Nobody likes having like a group like group breeding and or just the first one to breed an epic, all that jazz. And it's not usually one epic, it's usually like 7 or something stupid like that, and you do have to spend gems to skip those nodes. They're just impossible to do naturally. So that's at least 200 gems. In order to skip the epic node, you have to spend at least 200 gems or less. Preferably, you should have a good race tip. This is just for everyone on the team that should be doing this. You should always have like an epic on you, so it reduces the cost of the person who's skipping the node. I highly recommend for each, like member of a team to save up 200 gems. It is doable. It's what our team is doing. It is relative, it's all in all honesty, it is fair. And you'll get really, really far in the race than you do. I do believe, we had a conversation one time. I do believe if everyone were to have spent at least 200 gems skipping the breed epic quest, that's 30 laps alone. In all honesty, that is a fair thing. That in that way, everyone is contributing to their race. Like just doing the joint efforts, that's not enough to contribute, or like it's not equal contribution. You're just pretty much carrying sticks, while some people that have to spend gems to skip the nodes are carrying boulders. it's just that, and that's another reason why people love these races, because a lot of those people that don't spend the gems to skip the nodes like doing that. it's just the thing. It's never mind. It's just that. Contributing, yeah. This is why I kind of hate races over Titan races, because again, you don't have to spend any gems at all. You just attack a Titan monster and you just get points. It's in my point, it's just better. Like we didn't have to spend any gems. It was fun. And there was no it's just better, but not everyone likes these better, so I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, those are the annoying ones. The ones you have to skip with gems in order to continue racing. Highly recommend. This is another great tip. Communicate with your team and make a Discord chat. You have got to communicate with your entire team, or this doesn't go smoothly. It's just chaotic if you don't. So if everyone communicated, everyone to spend at least 200 gems skipping the epic specific breeding tasks, and they do the hatchery thing where you always try to breed a epic in the hatchery. I recommend both of mine are full at the moment because of the breeding event, which isn't good, but I highly recommend having one for the breeding combination of the Earth Water Dragon here. There's a monster here called this one, Musu, and that's a combination of Rockkilla and Mura Snake. It's a very easy epic to breed, and it's a very good one. It's a very useful one for competitive play. I've seen ranked up 120 Musus. It's just dumb. Yeah, it's even better than some modern epics, just because of the support capabilities it's capable of. But that's another great tip. Discord chat. all agreeing to contribute. And there was something else that I said. I just said it. Oh, the Mursu breeding. Yeah, have a epic always ready in the hatchery. Uh, Also have the other one for. Always have the other one for words. Always for pandakins. You always want uh, one slot open for pandakin breeding, so you can do the rank up missions. It's very easy to extract, and breed pandagons is the easiest way. And you also do breed green swords too, because they'll always have those quests where you have to upgrade uncommons or upgrade rares. So to have this tree open, to have at least one slot open for that is always a good idea. Everyone's just trying to save. The reason for this tactic is everyone wants to save as much gems as possible. So if you can help your team out for the people that have to skip nodes, it'd be awesome of you. It's just a good team logic thing. I had to collect speaking of which, I had to collect my extract for Rorical. But, so yeah, that's that. As you can see right now, we completed 2 of our 3 tasks, and when we do that, we'll have another set of missions to do. You can clear as many laps as you want in this event, though most people just clear until the point where they've just buried the other people behind them. This is our placement at the moment. We're in first, and the other team, the team that's computing, is got like 2 laps in. The other teams haven't really moved yet since the beginning of the race. And so yeah, we're doing pretty good on that. As also the contributors, I think also a really good thing to do after every race is do a thank you video, or just like thank everyone in like the team chat when the race is over. Like, good job everyone, thank you for your participation, everyone did a good job. That's always a nice thing to do. Good job to the top 3 guys so far too, or like the top 5. Way to go, Susie, Armor, Xyz, Logan, Lucifer. You guys are awesome so far, and everyone else above 1,000 points. I will say that too. So here we go. We got Andrea, Michael, Diaz, Steve, Itzy, Greed, Nighthawk, me. Me. Congratulations, me. Yeah, no problem, me. Donald, Ozzy, Destiny, Kinzith, Biako, and everyone else needs to work on their thingies. But yeah, we're normally a good participation points are 5,000 points. It is very doable. So yeah, but it's also good to get a good points too, because then you get 5 million food. I think they give you enough food, if in all honesty, in terms of points. If you do contribute at least 5,000 points, enough for like 5,000 points, you get pretty much the amount of food. In other words, the amount of food to feed said monster. So it said team race monster if you win. So in this case, it's the Balor. And we're going to talk about him. Alright, so this is the Fresh Prince of Balor. Balor, my boy Balor. This is an actual Celtic monster. This is an actual monster. Like the monster is based on the actual creature. Balor is an actual giant. It was an actual giant king with one eye, and this is him. I do believe this isn't the first time they've done this. They have done monsters of actual story related monsters or gods, and this is one of the Celtic monsters / gods. So what does this thing do? Everyone's been wondering about that because it's not on the wiki yet. I really wish I could see what his stats were on the wiki, but I do know what he does. He has, I do believe, AoE quicksand. He has, I don't know if that poisons too, but he also has poisoning in his kit. He has, I think this is the biggest thing. He has an AoE total blind. Really, really good debuff in the game at the moment. 1, because it's advanced blind, and 2, it's pretty much denied. Because you are guaranteed to miss your next attack while under total blind. So this is a really, really good. I really don't even want to call it a debuff because it's really just a deny skill. You really just miss anything, and the whole point of denying is just missing turns in general, or just missing actions, or it's not beneficial to the enemy in any way or form. And total blind is just one of those things, so it does count as a deny. Obviously, a good way to get out of total blind at the moment is extra turn monsters, because usually the total blinds only last for a turn. There's only been a handful of monsters with total blind at the moment. That is Scrap Warrior, Dungeon Master, and I do believe this thing. I don't know. I can't think of any other monster that has done total blind besides this, and the ones I just said. But as you can see, it's a really good debuff at the moment. It was a really, really popular debuff in the Titan event, I believe. It's a really good debuff. Because again, you're guaranteed to miss your attacks, so everyone was using this against the boss fight, so it would miss its basic attacks, and you could do whatever you want still. Really strong debuff. So yeah, he has the total blind, he has the quicksand. I don't know if it applied poison too, but it did something else. Okay, total blind, poison. I believe he had regular blind too. Another thing. He had life regen. So basically this is what people consider him at the moment. He's a team speed tank. He is a team speed tank capable of not only being, relatively sustainable, but he does annoying effects. So he's just, in all honesty, in a good, perfect sense, he's just bothersome. He's there to annoy you, stare you in the eye with his only eye, and be bothersome. That's his main goal, is just to bother you with that expression of expressionness. He's expressive. He'll get into your face. Another really, I honestly made the name when I was in this morning. I was thinking about names, and I think if the team does manage to get this monster here, I'm gonna call mine the Fresh Prince of Balor. But I also thought of another name, and I think I'd call him Pinhead. Pinhead. I think acceptable names. You see, I'm the self-proclaimed king of names, or like naming monsters. So I think like a good names would be Pinhead, Fresh Prince of Balor, One-Eyed Jack. Oh, no, that's not a serious one. But yeah, I think those are good names so far. I'll let you guys know if I think of any more, like during a live stream or anything like that. But all in all, this is a fun monster. It's really good. Now, the problem with that, beyond that, the rewards are nowhere near as good as him. Again, this thing's amazing, but when you look at everything else, like given its, yeah. So for second place, you get a rank 1 fight tree. Again, before I guess I continue here. You also get Elementium. You also get Elementium for winning first place, and the second place prize. So when you get first, you get 70 Elementium, and you get a rank 1 fight tree. You don't get the Elementium in the second place in the food, but you get the monster that has the same rank as you would as second. So this is fight tree. Decent and usable is the best thing to describe this man. He is very decent. He is very usable. However, he does not have a good trait. It's immune to poison, so you can't put it on defense. It is never a good idea to run a monster that doesn't either have a percentage chance to avoid deny and or a solid immunity. It's never a good idea to do that. It is never a good idea to put something with like immune to a DOT or like immune to insta-death or just like pretty much like a tune. Like any garbage trait. It just isn't a good idea. And this is the best way to describe this monster. In terms of traits, it's just not a good defensive trait, which is a shame because its moves are really good. He is capable of setting 2 kinds of DOTs on a single target, poison and bleed, I believe. He also holds a spammable AoE that does no damage but applies both of the effects. So it kind of like has the whole feel of reapplying the things that it does. He also carries a 45 special based AoE, really good. Self buff that heals him, grants not double damage, a damage boost. I don't know if it gave him precision too, but it did a lot of stuff. It was really, really good in terms of keeping him alive. But beyond that, he's really, really basic. He's not a bad monster. He's just really, really basic. He's not over excelling like the last team race monsters, were. He's nowhere near as over excelling. He's just really good at doing damage and DOT. That's really it. He doesn't have any control skills. His ult's garbage. His ult's basically his basic skill. It's a single target skill, that applies poison and bleed, which his normal skill does. And I think that's spammable. Or just like on a one turn cooldown. Yeah. But he is decent. He is usable. So this is a good second place compared to everything else. This is a good prize. Compared to everything else, this is a relatively good prize. He's in the good and superhero book, so you could run him with 2 speeds and a really good strength rune, and you'd be really, really good in terms of dealing with monsters that, if you go before the enemy attacker, you can 2 DOT them, greatly reduce the damage that you would take, and possibly just kill them right away. It's just one of those attackers you run 2 speeds and a strength. So you can get the, DOTs off on the enemy. It's very important you do that. At rank 1, his stats are relatively decent. At rank 0, they're not. So once you rank them up a bit, he runs fairly better. Gretchen, now everyone would want this to be the second place prize at rank 1. And I know why, and I'd agree with that. Gretchen, in my personal opinion, or just like in an actual statement, I think she's the fastest team speed monster in the game. Like if you ran her like with the natural team support build, she is pretty much the fastest team speeder in the game. So if you had her at an equal level with the other enemy monster, odds are she'll go first if you're running the same runes. Because of how naturally fast she is. She also holds some really good supporting skills. This ranges from DOTs to AoE buffs. She has AoE 40% shielding. She has AoE life regen. She has a single target 50% shield that also grants damage boost. She has 40% life loss. I don't know if this was like spans from several turns, but it's still a good DOT skill. She has spam. I don't think it was spammable poison. I think she has like a 2-turn cooldown single target poison skill. And the most amazing thing I think, besides her ultimate, which is a AoE mega stun, pretty much, it's really, really good. That would be her AoE mirror. Now, for the most part, what I've seen, I've seen her mirror skill just devastate teams, even if they were prepared for it. And I think a lot of people have the tendency to forget the consequence of running mirror. Like if you AoE possess the enemy, if anyone has the mirror, buff under them and they're not immune to possession and they get possessed, that doesn't go back on the enemy, that goes back on you. So when anyone's fighting Gretchen, I think they have the tendency to forget that flaw in mirror, and then they just get destroyed by it. And like they're afraid to do the AoE possession, or like they forget about the consequences in that. And so Gretchen's teams just kind of excel when that happens. And it's funny. I have watched to a few Gretchen defenses myself before realizing the consequences of mirror in terms again with the possession thing. But yeah, really good monster otherwise. Really good for against enemies that really don't know what she does. They didn't take the time to learn what she does. She's just really good at that. Even though she's a really good magic support, some players just have the tendency to forget about her because I don't know, it's just a thing. But she is really good. She's honestly, I think in my own personal opinion, she might be the only one in this race besides the race monster that people would really use. Like everything else is just miscellaneous stuff. Or really, it's either like I think it's this Balor's everyone would want, Gretchen everyone would accept as a race monster. Fighter decent, usable, not as good as Shork, and then everything else is garbage. I think that's everyone's personal thought. And like the Shiroko too, I guess, would be useful. Yeah, like I said, it's really just, after the team race monster, it's really just the Fighter, Gretchen, and the rank 2 Shamroku. That's really it. Those are the prizes. But yeah, it's just that. So let's talk about those other prizes, huh? Pretty much this is a good prize at third place. And you get 40 elementium and 2 million food. You basically get almost enough to fully feed said monster, said Gretchen. You do get enough to fully feed your fighter, I believe. Drek. Oh my god, Drek. Where do I begin with this, man? This is honestly, I think it's one of the worst monsters in the game. Uh, if there's anything worse than this thing, I'd be shocked. Like, this thing is just terrible. It was so hyped too. So basically, the story with Drek is everyone loved this monster's release, or at least everyone didn't know what it would be yet. It was like leaked. Everyone loved the designs. It was such a cool designed monster. But when they saw the moves, when they saw the stats, and when they saw the trade and all the moves that it did, people's hearts were smashed. This was a really cool design monster. Everyone thought this would be like, oh my god, this monster is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be used on every team. No, no one, no one uses this. It is just awful. Oh boy, how do you screw this monster up? Who designed this, man, in terms of moveset and stats? Who thought this was a good idea to release? Like, it's just so undertuned. It's so like underbalanced. It's not even balanced. It's just like tipped over the scale and not the good direction. It's tipped over into the horribly wrong. Like, design this again. Like, reapply it, redo it, remaster it, make a sequel if you have to, but just make this man good. uh, that's basically the situation with this man. Basically, he has the old style healing. He runs the very, very old style healing, the 30% heals, but they're on really high cooldowns. And it's just garbage. It's the cooldowns are garbage. He does like single target dazing. I don't think he had a DOT. I think he had like a single target poison skill, but he has no like AoE poison. He's got really no utility, unlike the other nature monsters. This thing is as bad as Apex, dudes. like if you're as bad as Apex, you have some serious problems. you have some serious you must see some doctors, because you need help. you need some serious help. That's just how bad Drek is. I'd rather use Apex than this, because Apex has utility, more utility over this, and it's basically the same thing but better. Because he has like an AoE heal, self healing, and single target poison. This is better. But yeah, this thing is just terrible. Well, easily one of the top 5 worst monsters in the game, and this is like for 4th to 6th place. It's yeah, it's pretty bad. So 7th to 10th place, you get a larger con. This is because it's St. Patrick Day. This whole event is because it's St. Patrick Day, and I think that's what all these rewards were relating to, and they're just terrible. Larger Con is old as dirt. Basically has epic stats. It's really no different than getting an epic, and he's in no books. Like, man, you're not even in any books. Why are you not in a book yet? So yeah, this thing's not even in a book. It's got single target utility, single target blind, single target stun, and that's it. Its stats are epic based stats, and it's just terrible. Like, is this not? Why is this a race monster? uh, Shamroku. This is honestly better than the 4th to 10th prize. This is I'd rather have a rank 2 epic than the first two monsters and like for 4th to 10th place. That's sad. But basically when you get 11 to 15, you get a rank 2 epic monster, which is really good. Because this is a really decent epic monster. In most part for holiday monsters, besides Krampus, there's not too much good ones. And this is one of the good ones. It's a really good epic monster because he's capable of AoE stunning, AoE poisoning, good sustain. He's got a 30% heal, I believe. He's very utilitative, very, very useful. Pretty good reward. And then when you get to 16 to 20, you just get one. That's not ranked up. So overall, how would I rate the team race monster? Really good. How would I rate everything else? Well, the first two monsters, like the first two monsters after Balor, like Fight Trier and Gretchen, decent, usable for competitive play. Everything else besides the epic thing too, I will say for 11th to 15th. So pretty much 11th through 15, second and third, besides the first place monster really, are usable for competitive play. Everything else is just garbage. Like, man, that's disgusting. Me personally, I'm not mad about it, obviously, because they've been nice to us lately. In terms of events, they've been very generous. They gave the opportunity to get a Kihaku for free. So I think this is pretty much them saying, okay, for this event, we're gonna tone it down just a bit in terms of monster rewards, and I think that's fair. Like it was like the recent events have been really good. So I'm not going to complain too much about this stuff. Not every event can have gold, you know what I'm saying? Not every event can have a shiny blue diamond. Though I think that the reward should be, in all honesty, they should at least be modern, competitively valuable. At least for the 4th, to 10th place. It's just not good. Like it's not worth the trouble that people go through. Can you imagine if people spent a lot of gems, get 4th to 20th place and not get anything worth the gems that they spent, and they just get a non-ranked Drek or larger con? It's come on, man. That's just terrible. And I wonder if that's why none of these teams have really moved yet. I wonder if that's just their feeling about that. Because nobody would really want anything unless they were first, second, or third. So yeah, I think that's just about it. So that's pretty much it for this video. Overall, the overall rewards aren't too good. Besides the first place and the second place and third place. But that's really about it. There's not much good rewards beyond that, and that's sad. I think everyone's sad at that. But Team Race Monster is really good. That's about it. And that's everything you gotta know about this race. Those are all my thoughts, my opinions, how to perform in said race, and all that jazz. I'm Dib the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.